Baskey, god damn. Welcome to the Town Alone Basketball and Hockey Podcast. I am your host, Adam Hess, and with me, as always, the DeLon Wright of podcasting, it's Tyler Carcara. Tyler, how are you doing today?
If I was the DeLon Wright of podcasting, I think I would take that. I think I would take that because that means I made it. You know, I'm in the
Yeah.
association, right?
You're in the association for nearly a decade now, by the way.
Yeah, just like coming in, you know, every now and then Zach Lowe's like, you know who they've got? DeLon Wright. He's a nice bench piece. And then that's it. I think I would take that.
In the COVID season, 10-point player.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 point per game.
I'll tell you what, I was not putting up 10 points a game during COVID, you know.
Were you someone that had a hard time with COVID, or were you someone that played a lot of Animal Crossing?
I did okay, I think. I taught myself to like play guitar, you know, so that was okay. And then I was still in college, so it was my senior years, so during most of it. So yeah, I was just in college, you know, I was dealing with like Zoom class. But I was in film school.
Yeah, I had a cinematography class during COVID.
So thank God for Boston University. Is the first time that's ever been said. They allowed certain film classes to be in person. So I did do cinematography 3 semesters in a row during COVID. The first one, it did get cut off. I had to shoot stuff on my iPhone at home to finish the cinematography class. But then the second, the intermediate and advanced classes, they did do in person, which was honestly got me through COVID. It was like twice a week. It was like a 6-hour long class in a studio, and I was like, "This is the best. This is going to keep me alive."
I know. Right before we went live, said I'm going to do my best to keep this to 90 minutes, and I'm immediately going to go off that because
we're going to keep it. We're going to keep it there. I can't go that long.
There you go. Perfect. My cinematography class, once it got shot down for COVID, was just watching previous Academy Award winners for best cinematography, and then writing a short post about them online.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's some high school shit.
Yeah. So that's how I saw Barry Lyndon.
Barry Lyndon, pretty good though.
Fucking long movie.
Hang on, quick we got to talk about basketball, but quick rants about film schools. Why would they be like, you know what, we should show these kids with $0 to teach them about cinematography and how to shoot cinematography at their level and be, you know, sort of talented young artists. How about Barry Lyndon? A movie where Stanley Kubrick hired NASA to build a special lens so he could shoot entirely with candlelight.
Yeah. Yeah, like I just imagine that someone left that class and went, "I'm gonna make my short film using candlelight." Lit one candle and went, "Well, what the fuck's this?"
Yeah, this looks like nothing. I can't tell what's happening here. Or it's just like, or they just crank the ISO up and it looks like a snuff film.
Yeah, a little bit of daylight comes in and suddenly there's just splotches everywhere.
That's my biggest problem with film schools. They'll be like, "Look at this Spielberg movie," and I'm like, "I don't have $100 million. I can't do this."
Right. Or even they'll be like, "Look at Moonlight." I'm like, I'm going to film school in Northern Virginia. I'm not Barry Jenkins. Can I get something more on my level here?
Yeah.
With that, obviously, as you can tell, we are a basketball podcast. This week, previewing the NBA season that starts in 6 days? 5 days? Something like that?
Tyler, yeah, it starts Wednesday? No, that's the first Magic game is Wednesday. Tuesday. It starts Tuesday.
It starts Tuesday?
Yes, sir.
God damn. I really need... Can they just do the World Series over the weekend?
Yeah, how are you going to be baseball guy Adam?
I know, I'm really struggling. Yesterday, I totally missed the Dodgers game as baseball guy Adam.
Has this come up on the pod yet?
I keep trying to get Mike to talk about baseball, but Mike doesn't watch baseball, so we haven't talked about baseball guy Adam at all.
We can talk about the Dodgers Death Star, baby. We can talk about it, you know. Just
3-0,
cruising along, the best starting rotation in baseball. Who needs a bullpen when your starters can go 8 innings,
or sometimes 9.
Or sometimes 9, yeah. Do you know that was the first 9-inning complete game in like 6 years or something in the playoffs? Crazy.
Jesus Christ. And he was great. He led what? One run?
One run, yeah. Gave up 1 in the first and then had like 27 straight outs or something like that. Pretty good. Yoshinobu Yamamoto. That's my guy.
I mean, we could go on and on about the Dodgers just because I love watching someone who beat the Cubs get absolutely decimated. So that's been a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, second rate Midwestern city, Milwaukee.
Yeah, doesn't even have Damian Lillard in it. Speaking of Damian Lillard, as I said, we are here to talk about basketball today, and we're doing a little gimmick here, inspired by Spike Lee being inspired by a movie. So
We're inspired by his inspiration, you
yeah,
know?
it's you could say this podcast is a Spike Lee joint though, and I will when
I
I post it
think Baskey is Spike Lee joint.
Yeah. Uh, just I like when I get the title already all solidified in the first 5 minutes of the podcast.
That's funny.
But we are going to rank all 30 NBA teams in terms of, I don't know, personal stock, I suppose would be the best way to put it, from lowest to highest.
Should we explain how we did this?
Yeah, you want to go through your methodology here?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. The rankings, my rankings here, this isn't our power rankings. This is rating the differential from our opinions of them this season to where they finished last season.
Mhm.
You know, I
Yeah.
think it'll be more apparent as we go. But like, I power ranked them. I blind power ranked the NBA teams, compared them to their final NBA standings last year, and then sorted by the difference. So
Oh my
who
God.
rose and who fell.
I cannot wait for your number one team to be fucking Portland or something.
It's not. It's not. It's not. Don't worry. Don't worry. Should we start?
Yeah, let's get started here. Let's go with your 30th team. Your
Well,
30th team.
well, 30 and 29 are sort of in the same boat. 30 is the Boston Celtics, because they dropped 14 spots. I have them ranked 17th. Last year they finished third in the NBA standings. Jaylen Brown already hurt in preseason. I don't know
Not
if
to
you saw
mention
that. Doesn't seem like it's that serious, but
the other
you
guy's
hate
already
to see
hurt
it.
too. That guy that got hurt in the playoffs.
Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum. We should mention him?
Yeah.
Well, he's coming back. I don't know if you've heard.
Yeah. So
He's going to come back and he's going to be good. You know,
I have
it's gonna
one
be fine.
question for each team. And first off, Boston 61-21 last year. They added Josh Minot and Luka Garza. People are excited about Chris Boucher. They lost Luke Cornett and Al Horford during the offseason. My one question for Boston: how good do they have to be in February to actually risk bringing Tatum back?
I mean, I think it also depends on the East, right? If the East is as dog water as everybody thinks it's going to be this year, and the Celtics are like a 5 seed, and none of the top 4 seeds look competitive, then either bring it back, let it rip. Maybe get to the finals. I don't know.
You said a 5 seed, and I was like, how are they going to be a 5 seed without their best player? But seriously, the East.
Is that exactly? Is that out of the question?
Who are the teams? And
Celtics are a 5 seed.
I'm sure we'll get to them. But like the only three teams you would legitimately, or the only four teams you would legitimately take over the Celtics without any question would be Cavs, Knicks, Orlando. Man, I really thought I was gonna have more confidence about this. Like
That's
maybe
kind of
Milwaukee.
it.
Yeah,
Maybe
so like
Milwaukee. That's the thing. It's really those 3 teams. Those are the only 3 teams that I think will definitely have a better record than the Celtics at the end of the season in the East. I mean, Atlanta.
wild.
Really like Atlanta. I don't see it. We'll get to them. I don't want to
Yep.
dive
I
into
also
other
don't see
teams.
it.
Yeah. I don't. I don't see it. I guess the answer would be like Milwaukee. But am I crazy for thinking that this Celtics roster, even without Jason Tatum and Al Horford and Kristaps Porzingis, is still kind of a better roster than the Bucks? Like, have you
Yeah,
looked at the Milwaukee Bucks roster?
we'll get to
Like,
the
the Milwaukee
Milwaukee.
Bucks are pretty bad.
We'll get
Okay.
to their roster when we actually get there.
Yeah,
But
we'll
yeah, I mean, they added Chris Boucher. What's not to love about the Celtics roster?
I do like Chris Boucher, Canada national Chris Boucher.
They also, I don't know why, but people are really high on their Josh Minot and Luka Garza additions. I watched those guys barely play in regulation for the Timberwolves for 4 years, so I don't know why people are so high on them. But hey, if they can get something out of Josh Minot, go for it. If they can get something out of Luka Garza, then you should probably give Joe Maz the Coach of the Year.
I'm just saying, there's a reason there were Anferny Simons to Orlando trades for like hypotheticals for like 2 years because he's from Orlando, and Orlando never pulled that trigger. Because he can't play defense. He can't play defense. He's a huge liability. So maybe that's not going to go well, especially when your centers are Xavier Tillman and Nemius Quetta.
That's
So,
pretty bad. That's not great.
oh no, they got past Inferni Simons for the 5th possession in a row. At least we have Nemius Quetta guarding the basket. Actually, I'm stock up on Nemius Quetta. I think he's going to be a fine center this year. I actually think he's going to be good. He played good in Eurobasket.
We're 10 minutes into this podcast, and we mentioned Eurobasket and have only mentioned one NBA team. So
Let's move on to the next one.
yeah, let's move on to the next one. Let's hit up 29.
The Pacers. I told you it's all sort of in the same category here. Last year they finished 7th in the league standings, and I have them power ranked at 18. So they're down 11 spots.
50 and 32, played in the NBA Finals. No Tyrese Halliburton. I mean, who knows? If Jason Tatum can come back in February, then Tyrese Halliburton should be able to come back in March.
Well, how fast did he have the surgery, Adam?
Yeah, that's true. I hear they were operating on Jason Tatum as they were wheeling him out of the arena. So
yeah, and they were operating on the floor. It was pretty gruesome. There's a lawsuit about it.
yeah, it was just like Gordon Hayward all over again.
Oh my god.
They lost Miles Turner. They added Campaign and DeLon Wright, the aforementioned Tyler Karkara of the NBA.
They get back Isaiah Jackson. He was hurt.
Yeah, they get back Isaiah Jackson. They still have Billy Corgan as their head coach. Not a big Smash Pumpkins
Let
guy.
TJ McConnell cook. So that's all I got, I think.
Do you think this team can avoid the play-in?
You
Like,
mean
legitimately.
as in like
Make the
they
playoffs,
should
but
tank and
not the other way. Make the playoffs, but not the play-in.
it's the East, man. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
If you told me, well, the Pacers, they were scrappy and they were a 6 seed, I'd be like, okay, sure, that makes sense. Why not? Yeah, we're one major Cavs or Knicks injury away from those teams not being good. How often does that? I knock on wood. I don't have any wood near me. Knock
You
on
reached off
wood, but
camera like you were gonna knock on your bookshelf, but I can't tell how far away that is. So, oh, nice job. I'll just add in the sound effect in post, and that'll look great.
Yeah, hell yeah, fix it in post. Yeah, I just don't see. I have them so low because I just don't see it without Halliburton. I mean, they played pretty well when he was off the floor last year and in the playoffs, but no Miles Turner is also kind of a big deal. Like if they have Miles Turner, I'd be a little higher on them. But the fact that, like, what's their starting lineup going to be? It's going to be Nemhard.
JJ McConnell.
Is TJ McConnell starting for them? I love TJ McConnell. He should not be starting for a playoff team.
Siakam, Nembhard.
Isaiah Jackson's probably starting at center.
Unless Siakam plays center, but
no, he's too small to play center. I mean, it's going to be
J Huff, go dual
J
center.
Huff, yeah, J Huff dual centers, yeah, the Twin Towers, J Huff,
Nembhard.
Nemhard. We said Nemhard. Nesmith is the word you were looking for.
Yeah, there you
go. Looking for. It's like I'm having trouble coming up with guys. Are we getting how much Furphy are we getting this year?
Oh, hopefully more than we got last year.
I'm kind of into it. I'm into the Furf.
He looks like his name should be Furf, honestly.
Yeah, I'm into it. Yeah. Anyway, that's my Pacers. I don't know. I have less faith in them than the Celtics because right now Derek White and Jaylen Brown are still both better than anybody on the Pacers. So
how dare you say that to Eastern Conference Finals MVP Pascal Siakam?
I would take either one of those guys before Siakam, and so would you. I think you know that.
Wow.
Are you about to say you'd rather have Siakam than Derek White?
I thought you were going to say Jalen Brunson. Yeah, I'd definitely rather have Siakam than Derek White.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think Derek White's really fucking good. Maybe it's because I'm so starved for guard play as a Magic fan that any good quality guard play, I'm just like salivating at the mouth. I'm like, oh my God, he's so good.
You see a defensive wing and you're like, I see 95 of those a night.
Yeah, exactly. I see Siakam and I'm like, I have 15 of you at home. We have Pascal Siakam at home.
All right, let's get to your number 28 pick here as we are now 15 minutes into the podcast.
This is the Los Angeles Clippers. Last year they finished 8th in the standings. I have them 14th this year. They dropped 6 spots. Um,
I had them much higher than
I
you.
have no idea how good this team's going to be this year. I put them
Yeah.
here just out of like I have more faith in the teams above them. Like that's kind of how I did. I'm like, if I were a betting man, if I were putting my faith in these teams, how would I rank them? Um,
I don't
this
know if
team
you know
might be
this.
good.
I know
you know,
you're not much of a betting man, but I don't know if you're aware of this. You can't actually put your faith on the line. You got to put money on the line when you bet.
well, money and in this country, money and faith are the same thing, Adam. Okay, I don't know
Heyo.
if you knew that.
This guy's getting political.
Wait till you hear about my takes on universal basic income. Anyway,
The Clippers added Bradley Beal, Chris Paul, Brooke Lopez, and John Collins. I like how this team that had all these injury problems with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard said, you know who we should add? Bradley Beal, Chris Paul, and John Collins.
what are the odds that John Collins is the best player on the Clippers in 2 months because everyone else is hurt?
Yeah. It's not zero.
That's why I have them so low. If they're healthy, this team's probably pretty good, actually, despite the weird off-court drama.
Yeah, my one question for this team is did Aspiration plant any trees? Have we checked to see if they planted any trees?
No, we did. They haven't.
Okay.
Well, actually, that's the thing about Aspiration, right? Is that they don't actually plant trees. They're like a weird late stage capitalism ghost business where they're like a tree broker. Like they don't plant the trees. It's like you pay them and then they pay someone else with that money to plant the trees.
But I thought they just paid Kawhi Leonard with that money to do nothing.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but that's the thing. They didn't plant any trees, even in their classic sort of business model. They paid someone else to plant the trees. You know,
So what you're saying is we did ask if they planted trees, and then Pablo Torre found out.
they're like a tree realtor. Except apparently it's an even easier job because you don't have
Yeah.
to do shit other than pay Kawhi Leonard and launder money.
Went
Yeah,
50
no
and
one in LA
32.
cares about this. That's the crazy thing. Um,
Yeah, I mean,
it's like people
very
are like,
LA.
man, it's gonna be their All-Star game is at the Intuit Dome, and like, what's gonna happen with the Clippers this year? No one gives a fuck, dude. There were empty seats at the Dodgers game last night. People don't give a shit in LA.
What do people in LA do in their spare time?
A Dodger Stadium, I will say, last night is a weeknight, and Dodger Stadium is maybe the hardest stadium to get to in the country for
Okay.
its stadium in downtown or in the city, like because you have to drive everywhere in LA, right?
Right.
So it would take me about as long to get to Dodger Stadium as it would to the Intuit Dome. There's a lot of jokes about how far away the Intuit Dome and SoFi are, but Dodger Stadium's in like Echo Park. It's like literally half the distance from me, but I have to. There's no highway to it. You have to cross through downtown. You have to wind up into Echo Park because it's in the ravine. Fun fact: they kicked a bunch of people out of their homes to build that stadium. It's kind of
Cool.
built on a Indian
Very
burial ground.
cool.
Anyway, it's very cool. Read about it sometime. It's really fucked up. There's like they call it the Battle of Chavez Ravine because there was like a huge like riot and standoff when the last holdouts were there in the '60s. Anyway, it's up in Elysian Park, which is like at the top of there's the hills that surround
Uh-huh.
LA. It's like
Yeah.
the top of one of those hills. So you have to wind through like the congested parts of downtown and up these 2-lane roads, and then wind up and around this hill mountain thing up until into the parking lot. It takes you forever to get up to there.
I think I'm gonna try to, off your description, draw a map from your house to Dodgers Park and see how close I
I
get.
mean, you could go look at Google Maps. I'll give you my address. You'd be
No,
like,
I
what the
like
fuck?
I want to see off your description if I can figure out how to get there from your apartment.
Yeah, it's basically impossible to get there by public transit. Is what I'm saying. You have to drive there.
There's public transit in
There
LA?
is, there is.
Is it just a guy named Public who has like a big van?
Yeah, they're building a train, Adam. I don't know if you've heard the Olympics are here, or maybe they won't be if our glorious leader decides LA is too unsafe. Getting political.
Great. Now we lost all
He
the
threatened
Charlie
that.
Kirk fans.
Oh man. He threatened that this week. He was like, I'm gonna take it away from LA if they don't
Take the World Cup out of
if they
Boston
don't
too.
yeah.
So
Everything's
Clippers.
fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, the Clippers. They're just gonna be hurt. I don't know how much. Can we just move on? They're gonna be hurt. There's a weird scandal. I have no idea what's gonna happen with this team. I don't have faith in them like having a good record. How many games? What's the over under on Kawhi games this year? How much does he
Oh
play?
my god, 35 and a half with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people sometimes every now people love the joke about how Kawhi never plays, and then when they talk about the Clippers, they're like, "Well, Kawhi pretty good
Yeah.
when he plays,"
At
and then I'm
finals
like, "He
MVP.
never plays." People need to start talking. You know what? People don't talk about Kawhi this way because he has a ring, but he's kind of Joel Embiid. I hate, he's
He has
kind of Joel Embiid, but people
2
don't make fun
rings.
of him because he has 2 rings. That's right, 2 rings. Sorry, that's exactly what it is. Am I like?
Since
He
yeah,
at this
since
point in his career, he's Joel Embiid.
since his Toronto year, he has been Joel Embiid.
Hmm.
Here's what I want to check real quick. The Clippers, the oldest team by average age, 29.2 years old on average,
Yeah,
which is
that's
slightly
tough.
younger than me.
Losing Norm Powell's tough. Like I like Norm Powell more than Bradley Beal. Like if I could pick one of those guys to be on my team right
Yeah,
now
me
at the
too.
same
I'm with you.
contract, I would probably take Norm Powell.
At the contract. I like Bradley Beal, but yeah.
Let's move on. Let's keep going. I feel like there are certain teams where I'll just be like, no change. They're still 28. Then we'll be like,
Yeah,
just
that's
zoom past them.
that's what I'm hoping for, is that we get some in the middle that are just
Next team, the Phoenix Suns. Last year they finished 21st in the standings. I have them power ranked at 26th. I think this team's going to be just abysmal.
they
Do you have faith
arguably
in all of their centers?
they arguably I don't understand.
They
I don't
signed so
understand.
many centers.
I don't under beyond that, I don't understand this Mark Williams thing. Going back to last year when the Lakers traded for him and then didn't traded for him. Like
Yeah,
no one said Mark Williams' name outside of the Charlotte area for 2 years. And then he gets traded to LA and now it's like, "Well, we got to talk about Mark Williams." He's
I
on
liked
he
him coming out of the draft.
I did
He always popped when I was watching Paolo tape.
uh Phoenix 36 and 46 last year, lost Kevin Durant. They added Jalen Green, David Duke Jr., Dylan Brooks.
That guy's name is crazy.
Yeah,
David Duke
he's not
Jr.
going to be a rotation player, but like, dude, change your name. Come on.
Yeah, someone really ruined that name for him. I feel bad. Maybe he's trying to change it.
Yeah, he wants to be the
Make a
David
name.
Duke that everyone remembers.
Yeah, yeah. He needs to get a
Um,
little better. But
they lost.
how good would he have to be?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. It's like if there was a quarterback who was like on track to be the next Mahomes and his name was Adolf Hitler.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, do you think he could change the
How
narrative?
good, how good would he have to be?
um, Phoenix also lost Tyus Jones, who was like arguably their most stable player in the midst of all their disaster going on last year.
Yeah, not great. Tyus Jones on the Magic now.
Yep.
Did he play well last year? Tyus Jones. I feel like Tyus Jones was like, throwing buckets of water at the Hindenburg. You know what I mean? Like he's a good player, but like he's like, you need a little more than Tyus Jones to turn your whole team around. That's like a nice edge piece.
Yeah, what's the direct comparison here? Like Tyus Jones is like the Joss Whedon of NBA players
Okay, continue.
without the controversy around Joss Whedon. But like you find out in the past, you found out now that he doesn't make movies anymore for very particular reasons. You found out Joss Whedon was making a movie, and you're like,
What are those reasons, Adam? Can you
I
explain them to me?
I, bel
I don't know.
I believe that he got pretty significantly Me Too'd, right? Do you remember what it was?
Yeah, I think he got me, dude.
Yeah,
I don't remember what it was. It's always something, and they all get lumped in the same category, even though some
yeah.
of them are like sex criminals, and some of them just sent like a racy email.
You heard it here first. Tyler doesn't care what women have to say unless someone's a sex criminal. um, but like when Joss Whedon would make a movie before he was a sex criminal, you would be like, yeah, sure, it'll be fine. Like it's not gonna be bad.
Did he make any movies other than the Marvel movies, and then his weird attempt at the Justice League fix during that span? No.
He directed Buffy and Firefly.
Right. I know he did the Firefly movie.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think is Buffy and Firefly.
Serenity. Serenity is the name of that movie. Good
Yeah.
movie.
Angel. The Buffy
It's a
spinoff.
bummer that he got Me Too'd because a Firefly pretty important to me. You ever
Really?
see Firefly?
No.
It's worth watching. There's only one season in a movie. It's really
It's not
good.
bad. Pretty quick watch.
That's the thing. It's easy to watch, and it's great. And then at the end of it, you'll be like, "Fuck! Why didn't we get 8 seasons of this?"
Can I
Anyway.
let me ask you my Phoenix question real quick, and we'll move on here.
Mhm.
How good does anyone not named Devin Booker have to be for you to talk about them? Like, how good does Jalen Green have to be for you to be like, we gotta talk about Jalen Green?
I'm out on Jalen Green until they win some games, and I know he was on a team that won a lot of games last year, but I don't attribute any of those wins to him.
Yeah, I
I know
think that
he,
we all
like,
can
led the
agree it was
team in
Cam Whitmore.
scoring. I know he, like, led the team in scoring, and he was kind of their go-to crunch time bucket guy, and I know they were, like, the 4 seed or whatever, but I don't attribute any of that to Jalen Green, and I don't know why. Maybe that's just me getting, like, osmosis
Nah,
into having that
Jalen
take
Green.
from other pods, but
Jalen Green had like one hot shooting stretch, but in general was just not a very good jump shooter.
yeah, he's just too inconsistent.
Yeah,
You know, he's like the poor man's John Morant.
I think that's really mean.
I know. I know. He's not going to come on this pod like he's going to come on Bill Simmons. So no offense.
He's gonna
Right?
come
He's
on
not
Bill
going to come
Simmons.
after me. He went on Bill Simmons. Bill Simmons talked shit about him, and then he went on Bill Simmons.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
So when are we getting Cam
Yeah.
Thomas on the Zach Lowe podcast?
I'm ready for that interview. I'm ready for that. For
All right,
Zach to just be like, stop taking spot up 20 footers. Okay, next one. Bulls.
next one.
Bulls. We can sort of breeze through the Bulls. Second verse, same as the first. I have them. They were 18th last year. They're 22nd in my power ranking this year. They're down 4 spots. Josh Giddey can afford all the teenage girls he wants. We have to cut
We
that.
can't escape it. Can't poor Giddy, man. He gets it. He gets it on this podcast regardless of who's on here.
I think it was proven that she was an adult, right? Like I think he
I
was
think that-
cleared of the charges.
I think that it was the other thing. It was like maybe she was a teenager, but she was in an 18 plus club.
Yeah, it was like he didn't know.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So
Yeah.
so see, Josh Giddey's a sex criminal we're fine with, unlike Joss Whedon. um, my one question
We
for this
gotta
team.
cut that.
My one question for this team is simply Trey Jones.
Pretty good. I like
Yeah,
Trey Jones.
Trey Jones. I'll go see him.
I like Trey Jones. What's his starting lineup going to be? Io
Trey Jones.
DeSumo. You really think he's going to start, or is that
I
a bit?
can't. Why wouldn't he? You think
Io
Desumo?
DeSumo? Yeah.
You-
Well, it's going to be what? DeSumo, Giddy, Kobe White,
Um,
and then who's their front court? They can't start Patrick Williams.
God,
I guess
mean,
they gave him starter money.
They sure pay him like they're going to start him.
Vooch.
I don't think Essengay starts. Vooch, I think. Okay, so hold on. Giddy, Vooch. God, they got Zach Collins making money too, but he's not starting. Giddy, Vooch. I mean, yeah, maybe not Trey Jones. Just looking at it.
This
Buzelis,
roster's bad, man. You look at this roster.
Yeah.
Oh, Buzelis. Yeah, Buzelis.
Buzelis.
That's right.
Kevin Herter, and Okoro.
White chocolate. I didn't know Kevin Herter was on the Bulls. That's pretty good. White chocolate. When is Vooch going to enter the Nurkic zone of like,
You think
boy,
Vooch is
the
gonna go
stats
Nurk?
are still there, but the advanced statistics are like
I think-
horrific.
I think he's already in that zone.
You think he's already there?
I think so. His
I
defense
love
is
Vooch.
really bad now.
I can't. Vooch was my light at the end of the tunnel, my light in the darkness for so long that I can never fully hate Vooch. You know, I every time they talk shit about him on a podcast, and I'm like, do you not remember the All Star year when he was shooting 38% from 3?
Vooch is a fun player. The
Put
defense
some
is just bad,
respect
and
on his name.
I
It's
think that
bad.
he has accepted that he is also 35 on a team that doesn't want to make the playoffs.
Go watch some prime Orlando Vooch highlights. He was pretty good. He's pretty good. Looks like DeMarcus Cousins with a 3.
Jesus Christ! Check the show notes for all the Vooch highlights that you wanna get. Thank you for joining the Vooch cast, Tyler Karkara.
Next team.
Next team.
Memphis Grizzlies. They were 12th last year. I have them at 16. They're down 4 spots as well.
That's me.
Is it mean? John Morant and is already hurt.
Played like 11 games last year.
Yeah. They lost Desmond Bain. On speaking of Bill Simmons pod, they were talking about like, yeah, what's the deal with KCP in Orlando? Like, you know, they you know, Memphis will probably get something out of him this. They're talking about KCP like Orlando was the problem. I watched every Orlando game last year. KCP is just washed. He's just old.
I told the story on the podcast before. during the Timberwolves' first conference finals run, I was dating someone at the time who did not watch sports, and she insisted on watching basketball with me. With which, folks out there, if you're ever dating me for whatever reason, don't
Don't watch
don't watch
basketball with Adam.
don't watch
Yeah.
basketball with me. Yeah, it's a very stressful interaction. Um, but we watched the Denver series, and she would just harp on how bad KCP was, and it got to the point where I thought about defending KCP because I'm like, you don't watch basketball, you don't know. But he was truly atrocious in that Denver playoff run his last year, and then he went. It's been a year since then. Like he had a whole bad year after that.
He was
KCP,
awful.
he's
He
just
was
cooked,
awful
man. He's just
last year.
cooked.
He's
It's
not
gone.
even a defender. He
No.
can't even defend anymore. I mean, it's not like he's like the world's worst defender. Like, you know, he's in the right spots, but like you put him up against Anthony Edwards or whatever, he's just gonna get cooked. He just
Yeah.
doesn't have it anymore. And
Yeah.
he lost his 3-point touch. He's just washed. I couldn't tell the difference when it was him and Gary Payton on the floor last year.
Well, the difference was like Gary Payton would wear camouflage to look like the court, so you'd forget he was out there.
Or not Gary Payton.
Gary
What's the
Payton.
name?
Yeah, you and I didn't say Gary Harris.
Gary Harris. Yeah, Gary Harris.
Gary Harris would wear camouflage so that he would blend in with the court, so you wouldn't even see him out there. And Kentavious Caldwell Pope would at least dress like a basketball player.
Yes. I mean, it was really bad. Anyway, all that to say, I don't think Memphis is going to be very good this year.
Hey, in the
I
last
think
3
Desmond
years,
Bain was super underrated for how good that team was.
I agree.
You know?
Desmond Bain, because when Triple J and Ja were hurt, Desmond Bain was still winning games.
He averaged like 20 points and 5 assists on like 45% from 3 for like 3 years in a row. Like he was like the secret glue holding that team.
He has an argument to be made that he is the best shooter in the NBA brackets non-Steph Curry division.
Mhm.
So over a 3-year span in the NBA, there's 246 games. That is 246 games. In the last 3 years, you want to guess how many of those Ja Morant played?
I don't want to. That's going to hurt.
I'll spot you that 3 years ago he played 61 games.
3 years ago he played 61 games. Is he like at 100? Isn't it like he's at like 120 games or something like that?
Fucking nailed it. In the last 3
Really?
years, 120 games.
Oh my god.
That's less than half of the possible games.
Yeah.
How many healthy games do you have to get out of
You
Ja?
know who Zion Ja is? You know who Zion Ja is? It's the Jameis Winston Marcus Mariota draft all over again.
Well, you're forgetting that a little
Zion's
guy.
definitely Jameis, right?
If it would be the guy who's notorious for eating something, so yeah.
Crab claws. Get Jameis on the get Jameis on the Browns. What are we doing? What are we doing? Dylan Gabriel, Shooter Sanders, get Jameis in there.
Wrong podcast. How many healthy games do you have to get out of John Triple J for you to be like, oh, Memphis is a contender?
They could play 82 games. I don't think they're a contender.
Okay.
For the
You
title?
don't believe in Ty Jerome?
They cut Cole Anthony, so I don't know what they're gonna do. Or they traded Cole Anthony. He's not on the team. I don't know where Cole's at now.
I think
Cole Anthony's gonna have a big playoff series for some team, like a big play-in game. I guess he already did have a big play-in game last year, but like that guy's like a 1 in 10 games. You think he's the best player in the league type of guy.
Cole
Or like
Anthony's on
if you
the
catch him
Bucks.
on the if you pull someone out of a coma and you show him one basketball game and like that one game is the good Cole Anthony game, you're like, oh, is that guy like a top 5 point guard?
Yeah.
No, he's not.
He's no Anthony Black.
He's no Anthony Black. Anthony Black is not a point guard. He's a point forward. He can't dribble. Anyway, I don't want to talk about the Grizzlies. It's what a depressing team. They just blow it up.
You know, Jaren Jackson already had surgery.
Yeah, I know. Jaren
in
Jackson's already
July.
hurt.
Yeah, he had turf toe.
And
How do you get turf toe playing on a court? Let me ask you that, Jaren.
He and Joe Burrow can commiserate
Yeah.
about not ever having support around them.
Getting replaced by a guy older than you.
Yeah, getting replaced by an older guy. Yeah.
There you go.
They have no centers because Zach Edey's out too. For
Oh
most
my
of the year.
God, Zach Edey's out.
Yeah, for like the first 2 months.
Jesus,
Yeah, it's bad.
that's brutal.
That's my point. This team's not going to be good. I think this team's going to be bad. I think
Can't
this
wait
is
to
going to
watch
be the year where
Jalen
we're
Wells
like,
and
well,
Scottie Pippen.
I can't wait for this to be the year where they're like, well, I guess time to trade Jaren Jackson Jr. for 8 picks to the Sacramento Kings or whatever.
I was so worried you were going to say Minnesota Timberwolves.
Speaking of the Sacramento Kings, they're a nice team.
much too high.
They're finished 17th last year. They're 21st in my power ranking, so they dropped 4 spots. I'm going by amount
Yeah,
dropped and high low, so they're down 4.
that's fair. Okay, so you said 21st
I
on your
think
credit
I
card. Yeah,
I think they might be lower than that. I think I might have
yeah.
them too high.
So they added Dennis Schroeder, Dougie McBuckets, and Russell Westbrook.
Well, it was the Westbrook thing that really pushed me over the edge. I'm kidding. Do you think they're the only team that called Russ? Is that why he signed there? Because
I wonder if both Russ and Sacramento thought that they were in the Eastern Conference. Because then this whole
yeah,
thing makes a lot more sense. If you're like, oh yeah, the Sacramento Kings
they
with
feel Easty, don't they?
well, it's
Sacramento
because they
Kings
have the
feel
whole
like an Eastern
Bulls,
Conference
they have the
team,
whole Bulls roster on their team. That's why they feel easy.
and that Bulls team made the play-in. I'm just saying.
Yeah, like
I'm
if
just
you
saying.
found out that no one ever told Vivek that Sacramento's on the West Coast, and he just thought this whole
That
time
that
they
was
were in
the
the Eastern
Atlantic
Conference.
Ocean. Yeah,
Yeah,
and Los Angeles was north of him.
yeah.
I choose to look at the world upside. That's a billionaire thing. Where he's like, I choose the South Pole is actually the North Pole, and the North Pole is actually the South Pole. So I flip all the globes in my house because that's
That is a
because the
billionaire thing.
magnetic,
Yeah,
because all the magnetic
absolutely is.
poles. Because I like to look at things in a different way. All
My
right.
my one question for Sacramento is what hurts them more, losing Mike Brown or Jake LaRavia?
I are you a Mike Brown guy? I guess we can talk about. I guess we can save that for next
We'll
talk.
save that for
But
the next. Yeah, we'll save that for the next.
I don't know. Let's move on. I don't want to talk about the Kings. It's depressing. They're so
It is sad.
bad.
It's very
They're
sad.
so badly run.
Remember the
It's
Light the
just
Beam team?
sad. I
Our
remember the
fucking
Beam
in
team.
our group chat, our very dear friend Andrew, in all caps, texting us that Russell Westbrook got signed by Sacramento. Light the beam. I was like, oh, buddy.
Yeah, I
Every
love
part of this
Andrew,
text
but
is sad.
every part of this text is sad. Yeah. I feel like if you have like a thing like that, if you're a team that has like a beam, you're the beam team, or there's like a weird thing, with your team for 1 year, like that's a bad sign for your future,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because no like properly built rising team is like light the beam.
yeah.
you know?
The one I can think of that doesn't apply is the nobody believes Warriors, who then like 5 years later got Steph Curry. But that's
Yeah,
it.
when it's a
That's it.
thing for the team. When it's
Yeah,
like the Kevin O'Connor like bright future sons. Although
yeah.
that didn't bode well either.
It did
That
not.
that was like a thing they said on the podcast. That wasn't like a thing they had on like the
Shirts.
they were
Yeah.
on shirts, yeah. Let's move on. Heat. I really don't want to talk about the Heat. Can we just breeze past the Heat? I haven't they dropped 3 spots. They were 20th last year. I'm at 23rd. I like Norm Powell, but
Let me
Tyler
just say
Hero's
this.
out for most of the year.
My one thing about the Heat is which one of the between Yakachonis, Kalel Ware, and Jaime Jaquez, can one of those guys be like a borderline all star?
Jovic. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, we can move on from the Heat.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about the Heat. It's bad. Do you think the vibes emanating off of Asia Wilson and Bam Adebayo's relationship will save them
It saves me. It's the only thing that keeps me from just phoning it
from
in.
ending it all?
Yeah.
I just watch highlights of those guys. It seems like a nice couple. Seems like they're happy together. I'm happy for them.
I mean, they're no Kelsey
Um,
Plum and
their
Darren Waller,
their
but
kid is gonna be so fucking good at basketball.
oh my god, like jump out of the gym level good. Like
Is that
that kid's gonna average 25 rebounds.
they're always how they're always like Paolo Banchero's dad played in the Euro League and his mom was in the WNBA for a year, so no wonder he's good. Like is this
Yeah,
the best basketball couple?
it's got to be.
Like overall, like
Yeah,
NBA star best WNBA player ever by
yeah, yeah. It's like how Zach Ertz and Julie Ertz kid is gonna somehow be like the best tennis player on earth or something.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's gotta yeah. Moving on. Another team I really don't want to talk about, the Nets. They were 25th. I've been bumping down to 28th. Um, how many points? They're like the anti-Magic in that they have so many guards. They have all
what
the
about
only
Michael
guards.
Porter though? We gotta talk about Michael Porter.
I don't want to. You move the mic away from your mouth. You're like, I'm about to let it rip.
I gotta yell about some Michael Porter Jr. MPJ, full
I
season
think
healthy.
I think
Remember when he was at
MPJ
Missouri?
I think MPJ in Brooklyn is going to take his. I'm ready to listen to his podcast because I'm ready for him to take a full dirtbag left turn. He was out in Denver. There's like a lot of, it's kind of red out there, and he has like a weird manosphere vibe. Like, I'm ready for him to go full, like, come town dirtbag left podcast vibes.
I'm hoping that we get a story within a week of this podcast being posted about how MPJ is going plant based.
That would be great.
That'd be great.
I'm
So that's how
ready.
much we want to talk about Brooklyn. Now we're talking about Michael Porter Jr. making a podcast. So
They're gonna be bad. They're gonna be a bad team.
who are they going to trade? How about that?
Michael Porter Jr. No, I'm
Yeah,
kidding. I don't know. Claxton probably, right?
Claxton, MPJ. Which Cam did they not trade?
Thomas.
Cam
No one
Thomas.
wants him.
Yeah, not even
Trade him to the
Zach Lowe.
Kings.
There you
Kings
go.
for Zach LaVine. He's baby Zach LaVine. That's who he is. I guess he can't dunk like Zach.
Keegan
LaVine.
Murray. Does that money work?
Keegan Murray just signed a huge contract. We should have
Yeah.
mentioned that on the Kings thing. Huge
Yeah.
contract for Keegan. Is that how do you feel about that?
Like, it's fine. It's like,
What are you gonna
know,
do? He's your only like valuable young player. I guess you have to sign him.
and you can trade him now. I mean, you can't trade him now because of contract rules. But
We've
you
had
can
this
trade him
argument
soon.
before. I must sign the guy. Like, what are you gonna do? You have to sign the guy.
Yeah, I'm the
guy.
let him walk guy. But Keegan Murray, you can flip him, so it's fine.
Even if you sign to a guy to a huge contract, and like I think the NBA has proven you can trade a guy for something.
Yeah.
Unless it's like Joel Embiid is the only one where I'm like, you probably shouldn't have signed that contract. But anything under, if it's not a max contract, if it's under a max contract, I'd be like, yeah, just sign him. You'll be able to move it.
We did
for
it. We did
something. If even it's like 2 second-round picks, is better than nothing.
We did an off-season series about the worst contract in professional sports, and I think Joel Embiid was the runner-up to Deshaun Watson's. But yeah, I mean that's how bad.
Yeah,
it is.
Joel Embiid might play a game this year, so that makes
Yeah.
sense. Next team, Pelicans. Another team I want to actually maybe I don't want to breach them because I have them last, and I feel like I'm on an island. I
You're on
have them
Pelicans
ranked
Island?
there as the worst team in the NBA, and I'm on Pelicans bad island because I mean like, I was listening to the Bill Zach Lowe pod. They're like the Pelicans might be frisky, and I'm like, are we what? No, they have Jordan. Who do they add this year? They traded CJ McCollum, the only adult in the room, for Jordan Poole.
They had Jordan
We
Poole,
think they're going to
Sadiq
be
Bey,
better.
and Kevon Looney.
We think they're going to be better because they added Jordan Poole
Also, they traded away their first next year to move up in the draft
for a guy who isn't playing, who's hurt.
Yeah. Here's what I'll say.
I think this seems to be awful.
Here's what I'll say about New Orleans. You could do worse than saying, "What if we just get a bunch of former Warriors?"
Yeah, that's true.
Although, mind you, the former Warriors aren't Klay Thompson. They're Kevon Looney, Jordan Poole, and Sadiq Bey. But all those guys played on the Warriors.
Sadiq Bey scored 50 against the Magic 2 years ago. I remember that 50 burger. He was pretty good that game.
Can we do a spin-off podcast of BASKEY just called Who Scored What Against the Magic, where we just sit down and I name a player and you tell me what their career
I'll
high
be
is
like,
against the Magic?
I think he had 26 in 2019. Yeah. Well, 50 is pretty good. 50 is notable enough to mention.
What would you say your favorite sport is?
Oh man, like if I can only watch one.
If you can only watch one.
That's tough. I would have said basketball until it looks like Ben Johnson fixed the Bears. So now maybe football. I don't know. It's really a toss up.
Because you have incredible recall for people that have played against the Bears and the Magic, and it's really a 1A 1B race most of the time.
Yeah. I read an article this week about all the like the Bears haven't beaten the Saints in like 20 years. So they went through all the Saints games that the Bears have played in the last 20 years. And I was like, I remember every single one of these games and every single one of them hurt. They're all bullshit. I'm like, remember, the last time the Bears played the Saints was the Mitch Trubisky MVP.
Oh, really? Game. That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
Yeah. It's fun, isn't it? This isn't a football podcast. Let's move on. I don't want to talk about the Pelicans. They're bad. Okay. They're going to be bad.
Can we talk about their draft night trade one more time though?
I mean, it's not the most disastrous trade in the history. Like if you're doing an all-time worst trades draft, it wouldn't be number one. But in terms of pure process, it might be the worst.
That could be. It's unprotected pick. That could be a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
It's not good. Not good, like, Jim. Especially when Zion Williamson plays 21 games.
Worst trade. The pure process, not like actual results wise. That trade, like worst one where you're like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire goddamn life. That trade or Luka?
Oh, Luka.
Yeah, because they didn't ask anybody else, right? That's why. If they had asked, if they were like, yeah, they shopped him around and then they took that trade from the Lakers, I would have been like, okay, well, I guess that's what he's worth,
Yeah. People don't trust him to not drink beer constantly.
Also, the fact that I'm rooting hard against the Mavericks this year. We'll get to it, but like the fact that Nico Harrison just like stumbled into Cooper Flag pisses me off. This is how the world works. This is how capitalism works. This is why the world is burning around us. It's because you can stumble into Cooper fucking Flag after you make the dumbest decision of your life. Anyway, next team, Pistons. Pistons. If they're 14 last year, I have them at 15 this year. They're -1. We're getting into the zone of like I think they're going to be about as good as they were last year.
Right.
I dropped them one spot. They did lose Malik Beasley. They did.
They haven't yet. They haven't. They can still sign him. No one else has signed him.
Yeah, I'm like, I remember listening to a report recently that he might actually play again. Like he might get cleared of that.
He got cleared. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
but
So
they also lost Dennis Schroeder, Tim Hardaway Jr., and Lindy Water III.
the Schroeder loss is, not great.
Tim Hardaway hit that 3 that they called a 2 or something.
I keep waiting for Schroeder to play like he plays in Eurobasket in the NBA, and he just doesn't.
Yeah, you got to get him on a team with more Germans. Not enough Germans on the. Where's he playing?
Every
now?
Orlando Magic fan was like, "Get Schroeder on the Magic, get him with the
Yeah.
Wagners, like just do it." We're
That's
so
how it
desperate
works.
for guards, and they wouldn't do it. Anyway,
Detroit added
yeah.
Duncan Robinson, Karis LeVert, and Javante Green.
I don't have faith in this team. I think they could potentially be like a 5 or 6 seed in the weak East, but I think it's more likely that they're just going to be a play-in team, unless Jaden Ivey's already out for a month. Yes, he just had knee surgery. Not great, Jim.
Not great, Jim.
Not great, Jim. I like Cade. I wish I liked that they had a little burst last year, but this might be a regression year for them in terms of the rest of the team definitively got worse. Unless like Jalen Duren takes a huge jump, I don't see it.
Yeah, and that was a big thing. Like we really don't know who the number 2 guy on this team is, and you can frame that as, well, we don't know who the number 2 guy is, so maybe they have 6 number 2 guys. But in reality, just watching this team, it's like, it's really a lot of if blank then blank.
All right, we've been doing this for an hour. We're only halfway through. I think the next 3 we can turn and burn on because they're literally all 0. They're the exact same spot as last year. I have the Oklahoma City Thunder at 1. They are 1. No change. I don't think there's any argument there.
No real roster moves either. So
no real roster moves either. They're probably going to win the title again. I have the Raptors at 24. They were 24. They're at 0.
Hold on. I do have to pause because we have talked about their draft pick where they said, hey, we don't have enough of this team. Is a 6'7" wing who can't shoot.
Did you see, gosh, who was it? Oh, it was Emmanuel Quickly. He hit a 3 against the Celtics in preseason and turned around and told Joe Mazzulla to call him.
Did he really? Oh my
God. And Joe Mazzulla told him, you can read his lips. He goes, shut the fuck up. Pretty good.
Excellent.
Next team, the Wizards. They were 29. I have it 29. One more year of tanking. They only need one. What's one more year? And
it worked out.
More year
worked out great last time.
What's one more year between friends? Trey Johnson, pretty good.
Yeah,
maybe. Trey Johnson, big Jalen Green vibes.
Ooh.
So that's a guy who's going to score 20 points a game on an 18-win team right there.
Big Jordan Poole vibes.
Big Jordan
they
Poole
got
vibes.
some adults in the room at least with Marcus Smart and Chris Middleton.
Yeah, those guys are both washed. So
they're washed, but they're adults. They're washed adults.
Oh, look, he's in the right spot to get dunked on.
Yeah. Marcus Smart is going to close out onto the corner and then get beat around the outside 95 times this year. And every time you're going to be like, great closeout, Marcus Smart. Too bad he can't move laterally anymore.
Yeah. Next team, Cavaliers. We're now out of the 0 movement. This is their up 1 spot. They were 6th. I have them at 5th, power ranking wise. Malcolm Brogdon retired. That's kind of a hit for them, isn't it? That was like a nice depth piece.
It's not a hit for them because he signed with the Knicks. So it's a hit for the Knicks.
Well, I said for the Knicks. Yeah.
You said Cleveland. Who are we talking about? What are we talking about here? What team are we talking about?
Oh my God, I'm losing my mind. Yeah, the Cavaliers. Yeah.
Okay.
I meant to talk about the Cavaliers. Cavaliers, they move up 1 spot. I think they'll probably win fewer games than they won last year, but in the East, that still means they're a 1 or a 2 seed.
Yeah, they won 64 games. Ended up the 1 seed in the East, the 2 seed overall, I think.
Do you think the worst spot to be in the NBA is a team that's like definitively good? Like you're going to be a 2 seed, but people don't give a fuck what you do in the regular season because you haven't proven it in the postseason. So like they could win 60 games this year and it'd be the 1 seed, and people will be like, eh,
Yeah,
whatever.
as a team that's maybe the third best in the West, or as a fan of a team that's maybe the third best in the West, I can tell you it's not super fun. People go, yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. Moving on, the Milwaukee Bucks.
Okay, well, those are the one we're going
Um,
to talk about a little bit here.
yeah, we got to talk about them a little bit. The 13th last year, I have them power ranked at 11th this year. I don't know how they went up. I guess they went up by virtue of the
The
Celtics and the
East,
Pacers
yeah,
dropping below them. Um,
48 and
boy,
34 last year.
they're relying on a lot of guys I've never heard of. You know
Like
what I
Gary
mean?
Harris.
You know, like sometimes you look at a roster and you're like, ooh, I don't like the guys in this roster. They're washed, or I don't believe in that guy. I look at the Milwaukee Bucks roster and I'm like, I don't know who that is. So that's not good.
So
Um,
they're in terms of salary, they're guys at the top you've all heard of. It's like Torian Prince, Gary Harris, Gary Trent Jr., Ryan Rollins, who's maybe not
they're
a
relying on
house.
Gary Harris. I
Yeah,
hate that.
Kevin Porter Jr., Bobby Portis, Kyle Kuzma, Miles Turner, and Giannis. Below that, they just signed AJ Green to a modest
Ex-
extension.
I think if you went to every single team and you took away their best player, so like you took away Giannis, you go to the Cavs, you take away Donovan Mitchell, you take it, all the players, and then compare the rest, all those rosters to each other. I think the Bucks have the worst roster in the NBA.
Yeah, their second best player is probably Miles Turner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Kyle
like
Kuzma
Miles Turner.
is
I guess
is
that is an upgrade over Brook Lopez.
legitimately bad. It's an upgrade over Brook Lopez, but it's a downgrade over healthy Dame Lillard.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Not good, not great, Jim.
Uh,
This team
Kyle
might be
Kuzma,
bad.
sleeper
There's like a
agent.
world. I know I have them up here because this is kind of where they finished last year. It was basically the same team, but they finished okay last year. They were in the playoffs. Um, there's like what? There's a world where like this team doesn't win any games, right? There's a world where this team's like shockingly bad, or Giannis gets hurt. It's like, well, now they're 2-20 or whatever.
If Giannis gets hurt, I'm with you. If Giannis is on the floor, I think this team ends up being like a 5 seed who loses in the first round.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same camp.
Like if we were doing a draft of teams who will not win a playoff series but will make the playoffs, I think like you would go like what, Detroit as the only team over Milwaukee that you're confident would make the playoffs and not win around.
Yeah, most definitely.
Someone who would that be in the West? Who's Milwaukee's Western Conference equivalent? You and I both did the same. We just looked over at team standings and went,
I don't know.
the
I don't know
the
that I have.
Warriors.
The Warriors are better than the Bucks.
The Warriors are better than the Bucks. I'm just like, who's
The
gonna make the first round of
Suns?
the playoffs? The Suns aren't making the playoffs.
Well, but that's my point. That's how bad the
Yeah,
East is. Suns have Devin Booker and then a whole bunch of shit, you know? And that's basically the Bucks are at, but the Bucks are in the East. If the Bucks are in the West, they'd be like, wow, what a disaster. They would have traded Giannis if they were in the West.
yeah.
That's my
They,
take. Is the only
they
reason they still hang on to Giannis is like, well, we're in the East, so I guess we could be a 5 seed.
yeah. Tyrese Halliburton and Jason Tatum going down in the last 2 rounds of the playoffs did so much for mediocre teams in the East.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on.
Moving on.
The Knicks, they're 5. I have them at 3, up 2 spots. I
You
think
know
they're gonna
this
be good
team
this
had
year.
Malcolm
I like
Brogdon
this
on it.
team. Seems shut the fuck up. I like this team. Um, I think they're going to be good. I think they added some depth. I think Mike Brown isn't going to run his guys ragged.
Yeah.
They're like, what if we added like 2 more bench players and let Jalen Brunson rest?
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea. I like that. I like that.
This is
Picasso. Um,
I think that this team has the opportunity to win the most awards that people don't think of. Like I
like
think
clutch player of the year, most
clutch
improved
player of the year.
player.
Yeah, most improved player. I think six man, Josh Hart.
Hmm.
Coach of the year, I think could go to Mike Brown if because the team went 51 and 31 last year, ended up as the 3 seed. I think if they're a 60 win team and they're the 1 seed in the East, I think Mike Brown could win Coach of the Year.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
by doing something
Sure.
very innovative, which is playing his bench.
I'm into it. I love it. Every time Tibbs, I have a Knicks fan in my life who I work with who was like, no, 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 you don't understand. Tibbs, he knows what he's doing. These guys, they get in the playoffs, and our guys are ready to go the distance in the playoffs. You know, they're conditioned. You know, and I'm like, okay, sure. Um, every other team in the history of the NBA, except for Kid Tibbs coach teams, has does it differently. So maybe you're right. Maybe the guy
Yeah.
who's never won a title, Tibbs, is wrong. I don't know. I think Tibbs is a good coach. I think that's his sort of Achilles heel. It's been his Achilles heel. It's maybe his fault that Derrick Rose's career ended.
Well, Derrick Rose, Joakim Noah, that third guy from the Bulls whose name I always forget. Like
Luol Deng.
Luau Deng. Yeah, they had like three guys that all were just like, yeah, you put too much stress on your knees and your career's over.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and
Anyway,
think
I
about
like the
like
Knicks. I
two
think they're gonna
years
be good.
ago. We didn't even talk about this anymore. 2 years because it was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, fucking everyone on the Knicks got hurt in the playoffs
Yeah.
and they lost. It was just like Jalen Brunson out there with Dante DiVincenzo just trading threes. You got any more Knicks
Knicks
thoughts?
gonna be good. I don't think I have any more Knicks thoughts. I think they're just like they made a lot of sensible moves. I think they're gonna be better.
Yeah, Gershon Yabusele.
Uh,
Who doesn't love a little Gershon Yabusele?
I'll tell you what, Serbia. Serbia doesn't like a little Gershon Yabusele. That was an Olympics joke for all
Yeah.
you international football heads. The Warriors are my next team. They're up 2 spots from 10 to 8. This team won like a lot of games last year when
48 and
Jimmy Butler and
34. Yeah.
Steph were on the floor. They won like a lot of games. I think they're gonna win a lot of games this year. I don't know if they're gonna be healthy. I don't know how deep of a playoff run they're gonna make in the West, but I think they're gonna be good.
So they added Al Horford, D'Anthony Melton, and Seth Curry, and sort of Jonathan Kaminga. I mean, like, they took 4 months to sign him to a contract we all thought they were going to sign him to. Lost Kevon Looney and Kevin Knox. You think, is Kaminga flipped by the end of this year, or are we just going to do this in perpetuity and he's going to play
He has
18
to be.
seasons for the
He has to
Warriors?
get flipped. There's no way he doesn't.
I kind of hope he pulls a Kobe. Just plays his entire career for one franchise, 18 years, has a retirement tour, they hang his jersey in the rafters.
They were, gosh, they were talking about this on a podcast the other day. Maybe it was Zach Lowe, where he was like, "Is there another player where they keep showing up on the team every year, and every year they're like, boy, this guy hates being here, but then he just keeps being on the team, and it's been like 7 years or whatever."
Yeah, and the coach hates him, he hates the coach, and they're just like, well,
Well, we're
47
heading
million, you want to run it back?
he's just good enough that you don't want to get rid of him for nothing, but not quite good enough that you can get rid of him.
He is currently the fourth highest paid player on their roster going into next year.
Not great, Jim.
Not great, Jim.
Next up, Atlanta Hawks. I do have them higher. They were 16 last year. I'm at 13. I think this team is going to be fine, solid. I think they're probably going to finish higher than 13th in the standings because of the East. Like I keep flip flopping where I'm like, I don't believe in Trae Young or Kristaps Porzingis as like pieces to win a lot of games. But I do like Jalen Johnson and I do like Onyeka Okongwu.
Well, you answered my question, which was how much do we believe in their big man rotation if Kristaps is hurt?
See, Okongwu's so weird because he's so strong, but he's so small.
Yeah.
Like, there's just certain teams where it's just like a really bad matchup for him, like lengthwise. Like the Hawks playing like the Spurs against Wemby, like Wemby's gonna just annihilate Okongwu.
Yeah. As opposed to those teams that have really good matchups against Wemby.
Yeah, there are okay. There's a difference between your center being like sort of a stocky, strong 6'10" rebounder guy and having like a Zach Edey type, where you're like, Wemby will still win, but like it's not he can't just like reach over your center, There's a difference.
You think
Yeah, I
Chet
don't
and
know.
Wemby go to the same tailor?
Imagine they do.
That guy's got to have so much fabric to make pants for them.
Yeah. Or maybe not. Maybe it's the same amount of fabric as normal pants, but they just stretch it out because their legs are so skinny.
Yeah, you won't even notice.
Yeah.
Atlanta, they added
Um,
Luke Kennard, Kristaps Porzingis, and everyone's for some reason favorite offseason addition, Nikhil Alexander Walker.
good,
Yeah,
good additions. They're better. How
they're
good they
better.
are, I have no idea. I
Let
keep seeing people put them above the Magic, and that makes me feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Yeah, I don't get that. I mean, like the Magic are maybe the best defensive team in the league and just added one of the best shooters in the league.
Yeah,
And
they
on the other
solved their
hand,
problem definitively, I would
is
say.
the
Although
how much what percent of the Atlanta thing of people's Atlanta hype is based off of Jalen Johnson being healthy?
all of it. If Jalen Johnson's not healthy, this team's not good.
Yeah. Like if Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, if both those guys or one of them gets hurt, suddenly this like, ooh, this team's gonna be really good defensively turns into like, they have their good possessions and their bad ones.
It's easy to say, what if this guy gets hurt? You could say that about any team,
Uh-huh.
What if this guy gets hurt? What if he's out for the year? Not a good team anymore. That's every team. But
But I didn't say their best player. Like I wasn't saying like, what if Trey Young gets hurt, right? Or is
yeah,
this where you're
you're
gonna be
right.
like, actually their best player is Dyson Daniels?
Actually, their best player is Jalen Johnson. If I had to take one guy off the Hawks right now, it would be Jalen Johnson. Next team,
Uh-huh.
Hornets. I don't want to talk about them. They're up 3 spots from 28 to 25. How much Colin
They
Knippel stock do you have?
they added Spencer Dinwiddie.
No, they cut him.
They
They
cut
just
him,
cut
but they added him.
him. He was a
Uh,
good locker room presence for a month in the
yeah,
preseason.
he really taught Lamelo Ball. What are the chances we get a healthy Lamelo Ball season?
I think this is it.
I think this is it.
I think this is a season where he's healthy and we find out that he's not actually that good. That's my oddly to do a talent aloneism, and my oddly specific prediction
Dixon, yeah,
is Lamelo plays more than the 65 games and puts up a lot of numbers, but this team is bad, and we go, oh, he's a good stats bad team guy officially.
yeah, yeah. And they trade him to Brooklyn.
I'm moving on
Okay.
to a team I actually want to talk about, Portland. They're 22 last year. I have them at 19. They bumped up 3 spots.
Whoa.
I really like Portland. I think they're
You do
pretty good.
know. I just want to double check. You do know that Dame Lillard is going to be injured all year, right?
Well, they have Denny Avdia, who needs.
They do have Denny Avdia. They call him
I
Dame
watched.
Lillard West.
This is my version of your obsession with the Titans. Is my obsession with Portland. Is I saw them play the Mavericks last December before the Luka trade. So Luka was playing live, and they got blown out by like 20 points. But the whole game, I was like, this Trailblazers team's pretty good, actually. I know they're losing by 20, but like, Scoot maybe has some juice.
Um,
Um,
what about okay, Drew Holiday and Jeremy Grant are their only players over 30. Oh, and Dame Lillard, but he's on IR. Drew Holiday and Jeremy Grant are they on this roster come October 1st, 2026?
I think Drew Holiday will be. I think Jeremy Grant will not.
They are both making $34 million next year.
I think you could move Jeremy Grant. I don't think you can move Drew Holiday at this juncture. Or maybe not, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you can move both of them. I just for those contracts, I just don't see Drew. Drew is like a valuable player, but not at that contract. Like no one
Yeah,
can bring that contract on.
34 next year and then 37 on a player option the year after.
Yeah. Anyway, Portland, playing team.
You want to play in team?
Yeah,
Jesus.
that's my big prediction this year. I like
Can
Portland.
I sell you all my Scoot Henderson stock right now? It's like in
Yeah,
a
give it
dusty
all to me. I'll
box in
buy
the
it
back.
all.
I don't want any of it.
Yeah, I'll haggle while it's on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Henderson stock, $50. We'll go lower. We'll go
It's a lot
lower
of
if you
shares.
pick it up instead of
It's a
shit, so I don't ship it.
it's a lot of shares for being $50, but I'll move on from it for that much.
My next team is the Denver Nuggets.
Damn,
Denver
you really
Nuggets.
moved them up here.
Yeah, they were 6 last year, so I moved them up to 2. I think they are the prohibitive favorites brackets non-Oklahoma City Thunder division.
I am
Um,
the biggest Denver Nuggets detractor on the face
I
of the planet
know.
here. Yeah.
I know, and I'm on the fully opposite side. I think Cam Johnson is going to shoot like 80% from 3.
So did Michael Porter Jr.
Not last year. Think about
Shoulder
if
injury
you're
to play
Cam
it.
Johnson. Think about it. Cam Johnson was taking passes from Cam Thomas.
Uh-huh. Well,
And now he's taking passes from Nick Jokic. He was an efficient, good offensive player playing on the Nets. Think about how good he's going to be with Jokic.
I just like first off, no one was taking passes from Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas
That's
does
true.
not pass the ball.
That's true.
Second, like Cam Johnson from Michael Porter Jr. to me is like a lateral move that improves your cap sheet more than it does your on the court product.
That's fair. I
Tim
don't know.
Hardaway
I think
Jr. and
he's
Bruce
better
Brown are
than
their
Porter
other
Jr. I think he's better than Porter Jr. That's all.
their other major additions are Tim Hardaway Jr. and Bruce Brown.
Bruce Brown, I think he's not washed. I think he was just on some weird teams where he just
He's
wasn't used right.
he's
Some
only getting
guys
paid
can only play with
$3 million.
Jokic.
Yeah.
Like some guys are just like built for playing with Jokic, in the same way that like some guys play in like a Shanahan offense and you put him anywhere else, you're like, oh, you only work with Shanahan.
Right.
But like he does work with Shanahan. You know what I mean? Like that's Bruce Brown. I think
Yeah.
like his particular skill set only works adjacent to Jokic.
How do you feel about them losing Russell Westbrook, who was important in one playoff game for them?
Good. That's a positive. That's plus 2 wins right there.
And
Yeah.
is Aaron Gordon hurt yet? That usually happens around this time of year, right?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
Okay.
yet on
Okay.
not,
Okay.
not yet on AG. Next team.
Uh-huh.
Not Orlando. My next team is the Rockets. They were 11 last year. I have them at 7 this year. They were going to be higher, but then they lost their starting point guard for the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's your favorite trade candidate to them?
To them.
Yeah, who are they
Well,
going to pick up as a
well, I
guard?
think when they start off 8-30, it's who are they trading away?
Oh, really? You're that low on them?
No, I'm not that low on them. I think that they'll probably be around what they were last year is my guess. My favorite trade to them. Let's see. Based off their roster, they love
JJ
guys that
McConnell?
can't
Derek White?
shoot. Derek White's not a bad
JJ
one.
McConnell?
Uh, are they a potential Zion Williamson team?
Depends on how much point Zion's coming back because that's what they need.
They need. Yeah,
If
they
we
need.
get like 2
More
months
dribble
of
the
good
ball.
point Zion in New Orleans, then now we're cooking. Now we're cooking with gas on
Let's see. Someone who
Zion.
can't shoot and can dribble. Can they trade for Tyus Jones?
Spencer Dinwiddie's available.
Spencer Dinwiddie's available. Rob Dillingham. You know what? I'll straight
Wait,
up.
did you say Tyus Jones? Tyus Jones shoots like 40% from 3. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
I was just trying to get you to react to something.
That's bait.
I'll do Rob Dillingham for Dorian Finney-Smith straight up.
Really? You're that out on Dillingham?
He's so small. He's so
Interesting.
small. It's the NBA, man. He's fucking Mookie Betts out there. He's so tiny.
Interesting. That's an interesting take from you. Let's say that for the Wolves talk. I don't want to talk about the Rockets. Everyone's talking about the Rockets right now. I don't think they're actually going to be that good. They're going to be like a 4 seed, and they're going to lose in the first round. That's where I'm at on the Rockets.
They're Milwaukee Bucks West.
Yeah, the Milwaukee Bucks West. Except
There you
they're
go.
better than the Bucks. If they were in the East, they would be like a 1 seed.
Yeah, they'd be a 1 seed by 10 games in the East.
Yeah, exactly. Those were my teams that went up 4 slots. We're now up to I have 3 teams who bumped up 6 slots. And 2 of them are our teams. I'll start with yours, the Timberwolves. They were 10. I bumped them to 4. That's just like a gut reaction. I don't know how I feel about that. I was just like I was making my power rankings and I looked at it. I was like, oh, I have the Timberwolves at 4. Crazy.
I think that
I just
you're
really
biased.
believe in
Yeah.
believe in your team.
Trust me too. Lost. The only major loss was Nickeil Alexander-Walker when you talk about rotational players. Their big question is, can one of, or more than one of, Jalen Clark, Terrence Shannon Jr., or Rob Dillingham take a leap into being a starter caliber guy or a
Yeah.
6-man caliber guy?
For sure.
If that happens, and I think TSJ is probably the front runner, Terrence Shannon Jr., that's big news. The Rob Dillingham thing is quickly going to turn into an albatross if Mike Conley is kind of like old man washed and we don't have a point guard.
Yeah. Wolves, I don't know. I just have a lot of faith. I just think they're going to be good. I think Anthony Edwards.
You hear the
know.
Anthony Edwards post game talk? Talking
No,
about
what
how
happened?
the rumors are out of the beat writers. Anthony Edwards has a post game now. He can play in the
I have
post,
heard this.
back to the
I've heard this,
basket,
yeah.
get a little Shaq Edwards.
Yeah. Yeah, little Miami LeBron.
There you go.
Um,
Little, that's what we've been calling him for years is Miami
Miami
LeBron.
LeBron.
Yeah, Miami LeBron
Yeah.
Edwards.
Do you actually, if you had to put money on it, you think the T-Wolves are in the same tier as the Nuggets and the Thunder? Well, you
Nuggets,
don't
yes.
believe in the
Thunder,
Nuggets,
no.
so you
Yeah, I
Nuggets,
don't
yes.
believe in the Nuggets. Yeah, I
I
the
think the Nuggets are a notch above you guys. I'm sorry.
That's fine. You and everyone else. The Nuggets, to me, haven't solved their issues,
That was a real
and
shadow dig at me. You're like, well, what does stock Nuggets take?
yeah, that's why we call you the Bill Simmons of podcasting, man.
Yeah, just chalk.
Yeah. I think that I like if I was putting tiers in the West, I would probably go OKC 1. There is no tier 2. Tier 3 is like Houston if Kevin Durant plays 82 games, Timberwolves and Denver.
Um, Next team,
Uh-huh.
Orlando Magic.
Aren't you disappointed that we're an hour and 11 minutes into this, so we can't spend an hour and 11 minutes talking about the Orlando Magic?
I actually don't want to spend that much time on the Magic. I've kind of shadow been talking about them. I've been like low key talking about them the whole
Yeah,
time. So I actually don't want to
it's
spend that much time.
it's
They
very
were
usual
15
suspects.
last
We've
year.
worked
I
into
moved them to
everything.
9 this year. I moved them to 9 up 6 spots simply on the back of if they are healthy, they will have a better record. They were
Yeah,
500 last year, and Franz Paolo and Jalen Suggs only played 3 games together. So like just by virtue of being healthy, they're gonna win like 10 more games if that's
I
the case.
mean,
Knock on wood. I don't have
simply
wood.
simply not having nice job, not having
Well back.
not having everyone on the team tear their oblique would be an
Mhm.
improvement.
Yeah, I did some oblique exercise at the gym yesterday.
What were you doing?
Hard
Little
work.
Russian twists, or
No, no, no. It's like it's like like a
yeah,
side
you just
plank,
hold a
but like
plate.
you just like you
Oh,
hold the
got it.
side plank, but then you like move your hips. You do like a Shakira while you're doing a side plank.
I'm not a core
It-
guy. I don't work on my
It's
core ever.
that's a problem.
It's so
That's
boring.
stability. It's stability. It's
It's
so
so
important.
boring.
It's so important to work out your back and your core.
Core,
Um,
core, and cardio are the two most boring things on the planet, and I refuse to do
I
them.
do agree with that. But as a surfer, it's kind of I need to work on my core. Um, The Magic, I think they're gonna be good. 9, I've been power ranked 9th. That feels about right. Franz hit
Let
like 4 threes in the preseason game last night. That was pretty good. What do you think?
ooh,
Is that anything? I mean,
I'm
Desmond
gonna
Bane's
upgrade
1 for
him in
9.
my. I'm gonna upgrade him from my head from being regular season Ben Simmons to being preseason Ben Simmons, off season Ben Simmons.
Is if Desmond Bane comes out and starts shooting like 32% from 3, does that mean is there like a curse? Is the Magic Stadium built on an Indian burial ground? Like what do you think what's the solution there?
Um, hire Steve Nash as your head coach. Is that a solution?
I mean, they if they come out and they can't shoot threes, they should fire the staff. If Desmond can't shoot, I'm so fully convinced that the staff there does not know how to coach offense. They're like, don't take threes. We're gonna practice rotate. We're gonna practice switching
Yeah, we're
all
gonna
day.
practice defensive rotations. Coach, we
Yeah,
did that yesterday and the day before. I don't care. We're doing it every day.
you can practice threes in your own time. Damn it.
Let me ask you this: Franz Wagner, Desmond Bain, Jalen Suggs, Paolo Banchero. Who's the fifth guy in your starting lineup?
Right now it's Wendell Carter Jr.
Yeah, you hoping it
Which
turns into Goga Badazia?
Wendell Carter Jr. was hurt last year. I'm convinced he's good, but I could be proven wrong about that.
If Wendell Carter is bad, let's just for a second say he's bad enough to where you're looking to trade or cut him. Does that move the Vooch trade from only being a giant win to being like a pretty good win, or
I think it depends on how good Franz is, right?
yeah, yeah,
Because if Franz becomes like a league average 3-point shooter, then like it's just a win. Because Franz, I think at this juncture is already better than Vooch ever was. Maybe not. Vooch made an All-Star team. Franz hasn't done that yet, but he was going to make an All-Star team last year, but then he got hurt.
yeah. And also now the spacing's going to be great because a healthy Suggs and Desmond Bain,
Suggs
like
is coming into the year hurt from last year. They say he's going to be ready here in a week or two. Like he's going to be ready for like 99% of the season, but he hasn't been playing preseason. We've been seeing a lot of Tyus Jones, Desmond Bain backcourts.
oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun. Who doesn't love that? Who doesn't love some Tyus Jones and Desmond Bain
I feel
backcourt?
about Jace Richardson off the bench.
Um, don't feel a lot about him, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
The Magic love this 2 years in a row they've drafted, or 3 years in a row they've drafted guys that are like the sons of former NBA players because they have Jet Howard too.
Oh,
The Nepo team.
Jet Howard's a nepo baby.
You didn't know?
I didn't know that.
He's Juwan Howard's son.
I did not know that. I figured he wasn't Dwight Howard's son, so that was the other one I was thinking. But
Do you think they thought that? Do you think Orlando thought that? Let's move on. I don't want to talk about them anymore. I said we wasn't going to talk about them, and I'm technically supposed to be at the gym with some friends in half an hour. It's all right. I can be late to that. Although I only have 4 teams left, so we could burn this.
you gotta do your oblique or your,
Sixers.
what's up, Sixers? Sixers? What?
They were 26th last year. I have them at 20th, so that is 6 spots up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? Defensible.
It's one of those. I'm like, this was one of the ones where I texted you and I was like, oh, interesting. I was really high in this. I have no idea how good the Sixers team is going to be. Do you want to talk about the Sixers? Everyone talks about the Sixers.
Well,
Is
we
just
got
like is Joel
we
going to play?
Sixers.
Yeah, I guess we got to talk all 4 of these teams up top. We're going to have to talk about.
Let's here's my thing with the Sixers, right? Joel Embiid, whatever. We're gonna put him aside for now. Their backcourt players: Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, and Quentin Grimes as their top ones, and maybe
like their guards.
Kyle Lowry if you want to talk about him.
Jared
McCain.
Lost Gershon Yabusele, so that's
they
tough.
did lose Gershon Yabusele, who I don't think we need to bring up in this conversation. It's just really fun to say his name, Gershon Yabusele.
We can't waste time. We can't waste time.
Their guards, I really like their guard rotation. I can't wait to see who the 2 best guys are, which right now are obviously McCain and Maxey, but with VJ Edgecombe with an outside chance to break into that top 2.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. Too bad that they have Paul George in.
How do you feel about their spot at 20th? Rather, like instead of talking about how good they are compared to last year, how do you feel about them if they finish with the 20th best record this year? That feels like a very like middle road pick. Like I feel like they're either going to be worse than that or better than that.
I cannot
put them in the middle.
Possibly make an argument that Joel Embiid and Paul George are going to play 50% of the season.
Yeah, but the rest of the roster is like pretty good.
But how good? Like if you're obviously Maxey got hurt last year, but if you're rolling out a lineup that's Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Kelly Oubre, Andre Drummond, and I don't know, maybe Jared McCain, like
if they make the play-in this year, is that a win? And if they make the play-in this year and VJ Edgecombe is like really good, is that a win?
A win for who? A win for Philly?
A win for the team. A win for the city of Philadelphia.
No, but that's only the city of Philadelphia. No, they'll only be happy with championships. But Daryl Morey either wants to win the title or have the number 3 pick in the draft every year because he's like a Moneyball guy.
Mm-hmm.
So
you think halfway through the season they're just going to be like, well, time to put everyone on the bench again. We really want to get who's the top guy? AJ DeBansa. We really want AJ DeBansa.
Oh, you see, you're behind. He's like the 3rd pick now.
Really?
Yeah. Right now, the top pick is Darren Pedersen out of Kansas, Cameron Boozer, and then AJ DeBansa.
Cameron Boozer, yeah, Cameron Boozer's gonna be good.
Call him the Booze Hound around here.
Okay.
I don't think that Daryl Morey is going to be like, we need to bench people to tank. I think he's going to be like, we need to bench people because we already lost Paul George, Joel Embiid, and one of our guards.
What a weird team. It's them and the Clippers, or I'm like, you could tell me any outcome this year and I'd believe you.
Embiid's 3-year extension starts next year.
It's so bad. That's so bad, dude.
And
Maybe it is the worst contract. Maybe it is.
Paul George has a $51 million cap hit this year, next year 54, and then a $56 million player option in 27-28 when he will be 38 years old.
Adam, I think I would have played devil's advocate on your worst contracts pod, where I would have said the Embiid contract's actually the worst one over Deshaun Watson. It was the Deshaun Watson, when you did it, was defensible. Like, I wouldn't have done it, but like, you're like, we are the worst quarterback team in the history of the NFL. There is a Pro Bowl quarterback available. We're going to pay all the money. We're just going to throw money at this problem, and then it just didn't work. The Embiid contract was bad the second the ink was the second the pen touched the contract. You're like, this is a bad contract.
Yeah, I honestly, now that we're talking about it, maybe Embiid did win because I can't imagine he didn't, just looking at the fact that in 28-29 he has a $67 million player option.
Think he's going to pick that up?
Yeah, I think he's going to pick that one up.
Next team. Los Angeles Lakers. up
Ooh.
8 spots.
Ooh.
14th last year. I have them at 6th. I'm
Damn.
all in on skinny Luca. He's gonna win MVP. It's the passing of the torch. LeBron halfway through the season gonna be like, shit. I guess I gotta, I don't. He's not gonna do that. LeBron's gonna be like, trade me or whatever.
Yeah. LeBron's gonna come out with a commercial about how he's dunking on a cardboard
I
cutout of
don't
Luca
hate
or something.
the roster. I don't think it's like the best roster in the world, but like I don't hate it.
You're
Like honestly, no LeBron is better for Austin Reeves as a number 2 option. I think that frees up Reeves. Could you imagine if 6 years ago you were like, yeah, we're going to be talking about how LeBron getting hurt frees up Austin Reeves' shots?
um, and you're a big
Uh,
dominating guy, aren't you?
I think he'll give him something. I don't think he's like, I watched, that's the thing. I watched that Portland game last year, dominate, and he led the team in points. I was like, I know they're down 20 and he's not good, but like, maybe,
Also,
maybe.
DeAndre Ayton at $8 million is a lot better than DeAndre Ayton at a max
That's my
contract.
point. That's
Yeah.
everyone's talking about him like he's like a max guy at $8 million. DeAndre Ayton's like fine, you know. I'm
So
fine with it. It's like
what's their
Brad
starting
Beal
lineup
at like
though?
15 million. I'm like, sure, yeah, I'll do that.
What's the starting lineup for them?
Luca, Reeves, Ayton, Rui. I don't know who the fifth guy is.
Gabe Vincent, Maxi
Gabe
Kleba,
Vincent? Maxi Kleba probably, Larry. It's gotta be a
Jake
bigger guy.
LaRavia.
I do like Jake LaRavia.
Obviously,
Money.
I shouldn't say obviously. I got a this or that for you. I want you to tell me which one of these two things is more likely.
Jared Vanderbilt.
Jared Vanderbilt and DeAndre Ayton out there? Twin
Dalton
Towers?
Connect is still there, you know?
No, they traded for Mark Williams. You can't just go back on trades.
Oh, by the way, Marcus Smart is in LA. You said that he was in Washington. He's
Yeah,
close. Yeah.
he left Washington this offseason and went to LA.
See, now that it helps my opinion to say that he's on the Lakers instead of saying that he's washed, he's actually on the Lakers. And Marcus Smart, that's good bench minutes right there.
Locker room leader there, Marcus Smart.
Locker room leader, Marcus.
What's more likely? Without LeBron, this team is a 500 team, or that skinny Luca lasts an entire 365 calendar days.
I think they win 50 games strictly on the fact that Skinny Luke is going to win MVP. That's fully where I'm at.
Do you
for this
think
team. I'm
this
ready,
time next
ready to
year,
have, I'm ready to be proven wrong.
this time next year, is it still skinny Luca, or is he reverted and he looks closer to Ben Stiller at the end of Dodgeball?
Yeah, I think it'll still be Skinny Luca, especially if it goes well. Unless he gets
I don't know,
hurt.
man.
If he gets hurt, then I guess he'll be like
They're going to play an away game.
chilling at Scum and Villainy on Hollywood Boulevard, just eating wings, just pounding wings.
They're going to play an away game in Houston, and he's going to try Southern Sweet Tea one more time, and it's all over for him.
Yeah, he's an addict. They're like,
He's
we
an
have
addict.
to keep Luca in the hotel.
So what? Let me ask you this: what going into the season? Just because you're on the skinny Luca train here, what is your MVP ballot looking like if you had to predict the end of the year?
Luka Jokic, SGA. I think people are going to be bored of like it took 2 years for everyone to get bored of Jokic. I think they will be bored of SGA instantly.
Yeah, because here's the thing: SGA is already boring.
Yeah, he's already boring. Like the fact that he won last year, is only because they were even more bored of Jokic because he's won twice already.
Yeah, SGA is boring. You know, the team's insanely good, but he's an efficient shooter who takes a lot of fouls and can pass the ball really well and can defend. It's just like,
And
okay,
he
great.
doesn't. And he isn't
Let's
like
highlight.
Kobe, where like he's gonna yell at a guy on the court,
No.
and you're like, he's fiery. No, he's just like steady.
Like if it came out that at team dinners SGA eats like, I don't know, bread with a fork and knife, that wouldn't really surprise you.
Yeah,
yeah.
I got 2 teams left.
All right.
Both of them are in Texas.
I wonder what teams they are.
Considering we've already done Houston, you already know which ones they are. One team jumped 9 spots. One team jumped 11 spots. Do you know which one is which?
Yes. Obviously, San Antonio jumped 11 spots.
Yes. So let's talk about the Mavericks, who jumped 9 spots, 19-10. The Cooper Flag preseason highlights are so good. He's gonna be so good. He's so good. He's gonna be fucking sick instantly.
Best American in the NBA.
That being said, I'm rooting against this team. I'm rooting against Nico Harrison. I think there's a world. If you told me in 6 years Cooper Flag is like an MVP candidate, I'd be like, sure, yeah, makes sense.
18 years old.
Wait till they get his twin brother in the league. You know,
What's his name like?
His name's like Quinn or something like that.
Oh,
Hang on.
that's lame. You got to go with the double O's again.
Yeah, it's
You got to
not
name him
the
like
double O's.
Gooper Flag. They also had D'Angelo Russell as their Kyrie replacement for the year.
His name's even better. His name's pretty good, actually. His name's Ace Flag.
Ace Flag. Holy
Yeah.
shit, that guy's going to be the best player in NBA history.
Ace plays for the University of Maine.
Oh, maybe he's not going to be
Sophomore
the
at the
best player in
University
the
of Maine.
NBA history.
Yeah. I think I can't wait until like the Milwaukee Bucks sign Ace Flag to try and convince Cooper Flag to play there, like they signed all the Antetokounmpo brothers.
I didn't even know
Do you
Alex
think Ace Flag
Antetokounmpo
has a
was
better
someone.
chance? Do you think Ace Flag has a better chance of making the NBA if he keeps last name Flag or if he changes his last name to Antetokounmpo?
You know what? I think you got something there. If you're a borderline
Um,
prospect going into the draft, think about changing your last name to
just change
Antetokounmpo.
your last, yeah, even if you're unrelated.
Yeah, even if you're a white guy who
And
plays
if
for
you're a white
Maine.
guy,
So
you got a Greek ancestor somewhere, I'm sure. Put it
here's
in
the thing,
there.
right? Here's the thing about Dallas. Anthony Davis already has like a disconnected cone in his eye or something like that. He has to wear glasses. Kyrie Irving's out for the year. Derek Lively is made of glass and paper mache.
They do have Daniel Gafford, though. I
They
love
do have
Gafford.
Daniel Gafford.
I think Gafford is kind of the best center on that roster, actually. I know everyone loves Lively, but
I'm such a Lively guy.
I think Gafford is, every time I watch that dude play, I'm like, that's a good center. That's a good NBA center.
In preseason and in practice, they're rolling out Cooper Flag as the point forward. Are they just relying too much on an 18-year-old?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I only have them at 10th. I think they're going to be
Not
good. I don't
one.
think they're going to be like the best team in the league.
I can't wait. I can't wait to get the screenshot from you or the text from you when Nico Harrison gets a 5-year extension after the team is like
Oh man, I'm
17
going to
games over
burn down
500.
American Airlines Center. Yeah, that really sucks. Remember when everyone was like, "Oh, he's just going to go back to working for Nike or whatever," and be like, "That was a weird time where I was the head of the Mavericks and I made the
The chief
worst
of the
trade
Mavericks.
ever." Um, or do you think they'll, instead of an extension, they'll just sign him to be the new head of the Vegas team?
I
Although
think,
it seems like they're not going to expand now.
thank God. Look,
Really?
the NBA is a lot of fun. I get it, but I've watched hockey overextend itself with expansions, and now we have like a Seattle team that's the newest team in the league that is just in the mushy middle of the NHL every year for the rest of its life.
Got it. Yeah, not good.
San Antonio,
Yeah,
you got
San
any
Antonio.
you got any other Dallas thoughts you got to get off your chest?
D'Angelo Russell, bad tipper, good player the first month of the season, and then a bad player the rest of the season.
We need an index for how many points per game a player scores versus what percent they tip.
Well, his would be 0, so the index would break.
It would
'cause
break.
although technically, I think Torian Prince was the one who paid, so he didn't. Tip,
Torian Prince, bad tipper. Got it.
Although D'Angelo Russell was a dick, so
We need this posted
Or-
online somewhere. How do we make money off of this? That's my
there's
question.
got to be a way to make money off of this.
I know you don't make money off this because they don't tip, but we got to find a way
Yeah,
to make money off
I didn't
this.
make any money off of this. I got to find a way to make money off of this. Wasn't my table, but I do know they didn't tip. They sat next to Andy Samberg. He tipped. He's a nice guy.
Is his mouth as big as it looks in person?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Spurs. Let's wrap this up. Spurs. They were 23rd last year. I had them at 12th, up 11 spots.
You know what? I was really ready. I was ready to get into a fight about this. 12th ain't bad. I'm fine with 12.
Yeah, right. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's the reason they're so high is like Wemby got hurt.
What if Wimby gets hurt every year though? Like the
Okay,
guy,
and what if an asteroid hits American Airlines Center and kills Nico Harrison? You know, anything.
like an asteroid hitting American Airlines Center and killing Nico Harrison is so much less likely than the 7'5" guy that you can't see when he turns sideways getting hurt in the NBA every year.
He didn't get hurt his rookie year. And last
They-
year was like a
didn't he-
blood clot thing. It was like a weird blood thing. It wasn't like he fell.
Yeah,
and
oh,
got hurt.
his limbs are so long. Of course he's gonna get blood clots in them sometimes. Hold on.
I'd want to believe. I believe in this world. I believe in good things, Adam.
I can't tell
clearly
you.
you heard it here first. Adam Hess wants Victor Wembanyama to get hurt. Adam Hess.
I
wants
do not listen.
bad
I do
things
not want
for
Victor
the world.
Wembanyama to get hurt, but I do need him to get hurt.
for your takes.
No, because not even for my takes. It's not that selfish. That'd be very selfish of me.
Oh,
For my
you're
favorite
worried that
team.
he's just going to own the West for 10 years?
I got a deal with OKC completely removing my team's chances of winning a championship. And then right after that, it's fucking Wimbenyama time.
I think De'Aaron Fox and Wembanyama are gonna be really good this year. I think it's
I
gonna
think
be a
De'Aaron
little
Fox
bit.
gets traded.
I as a fan of an Eastern Conference team, I can just sit here and watch Dylan Harper and Fox throw crazy lobs to Wemby all day. It's gonna be the best. I can't wait.
I I just my heart can't handle it. If OKC like finally starts breaking apart, like Shea or Chet moves to a different team, Lou Dort is playing for just Team Canada year round, and
Yeah, and Dylan
then
Harper is just score. It has like 15 assists a game.
Dylan Harper has 15 assists a game. Wimby is
Wembanyama is
averaging
scoring
a
like
quadruple
a
double or something like
25,
that.
15, and 10 or whatever,
God, I can't handle it.
and
I
10
can't deal with
blocks.
that. I
It's gonna
can't
be
deal
the
with that.
best. I'm so
It's
excited.
it's
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 the
such.
best. I love basketball. Basketball's back,
He's
baby.
already he's
I love
already better
basketball.
than he's already better than what 99% of the league.
Yeah, he's already a top 10 player when
He's already a
healthy.
top 10 player. Like he's more likely to win MVP than Anthony Edwards. Not because I think that like Wimby and Anthony Edwards are, or like Wimby's a significantly better player than Anthony Edwards, but Wimby can just do more because he's the size of a fucking skyscraper and he can dribble and shoot threes.
Yeah. This pod went way too long.
We're at an hour
I'm
and
gonna be
31
late.
minutes.
The podcast recording here is telling me an hour and 56 minutes, Adam, and
That's how
that's
long I've been in
way
the call.
longer than I told my wife I would be recording. So that's not great.
That's how long
Um,
I've been in the call for. Podcast an hour and 31 minutes.
yeah. Okay. Well, in
We
that
can still
case,
close it out. I'm just letting you know. You didn't lie to your
I don't
wife
have any more.
that
I don't have
much.
any Spurs. I don't have any more Spurs take.
Any more Spurs takes?
No.
You want to talk about David Duke Jr. leaving? Chris Paul leaving?
I don't think I do.
Luke
Do you want to
Cornett?
talk about? I
Luke
mean, not
Cornett?
unless you want to talk about like Anthony Black futures.
I got some time for Anthony Black futures. You want to do another 20 minutes on Anthony Black futures?
I'm just be at the gym in 15 minutes.
All right,
You know,
fine. You got any plugs on the way out the door and we'll get out of here?
I was checking my letterbox. T Carcara. I got some stuff in the works actually. Hopefully by December I'll have some stuff to actually plug.
There you go.
I got some
And
stuff
I already got it notarized. I got the text message notarized. You're gonna do the podcast every other week.
Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
am. I wanna do it. I'm gonna commit to it. It's gonna force me to watch more basketball. Grind
There
my
you
teeth.
go. So you can look forward to every other basket be me and Tyler, and then the ones that aren't me and Tyler be me and Mike talking about hockey.
Yeah.
There you go.
Every other week hockey, every other week basketball. I
Yeah.
think for the early part of the season that seems pretty reasonable.
Yeah, and I'm the only doofus watching all the sports.
Well, what else? What else you got going on?
Hey, how dare you?
You're afraid that the government shut down.
Yeah.
You have no job.
I forgot to silence my phone. I noticed when I got an email earlier in the hour and a half we did this podcast, I got one email and nothing else. So it's been slow.
It's not the worst. You
Been
you
slow
wake
at
up
work.
after
Yeah.
being asleep for like 12 hours and you're like, oh, I bet I have so many texts. And it's just like an email from your healthcare provider.
Yeah, you have an auto text from like Xfinity being like, we've deducted $115 from your account.
Yep.
All right. Well, we're Mike and I are streaming tonight. The podcast will be out after that probably. So I hope you enjoyed the stream that we did. We're playing NFL Blitz on the N64.
Pretty good.
Pretty
If
good.
you ever want to play Madden 26 stream, I'm down.
Okay, there you go. Tyler will join us for a Madden 26 stream where we'll only be playing Bears Commanders over and over again.
Until you finally win. Until you get a Hail Mary,
All right, let's get out of here.
I didn't even gloat.